on the last wandering path.
We leveled up with a training montage. Gordon's got new recipes, Fran put some time in at the firing range, Gwen taught JJ how to channel the pulse of the city, and Ibra received some wisdom from the Spectral Knight. It's all in prep for the upcoming rally with the Radical Action Collective, but combat skills aren't the only things that need taken care of. Let's see what's around the bend, today, on The Wandering Path. We're going to open today with the slam of a locker in the locker room immediately after training in the Come Up Gymnasium. Is this immediately after the last training session?
Day.
Okay, it's the next day, so it's like another training session.
Another training session for Ibra.
You guys are back. You're getting a little further into it. We focus in on Ibra sort of like getting out of the combat leathers and into street clothes.
Yeah, and they've decided that they're gonna put their naginata in the training room locker. Okay. They've got their own locker. It's got their little initials on it.
Sure, you're a regular here. Mubarak was really your instructor, and you brought the rest of the party in.
100%. And I'm very grateful that he trained with my squad. Ibra has a moment of hesitation of like, what do I leave in this locker? Because I want to be back later today if I have time. I got to do more training as much as possible. I'm just going to leave as much as I can in this locker so that I'll have it when I come back and I have less that I have to carry on my backpack.
Sure.
So I got the sense yesterday that Ibra was, stressing. And I think I probably waited for them to leave. And then I snuck into the locker room and do you lock your locker?
Nah.
That's a terrible idea.
Just leaving the ancient heirloom weapon in an unlocked locker for anyone to grab.
Hey,
I wanted to
no
say
one else
yes,
knows.
but then I remembered that Fran can't figure out what keys are.
That's a fucking party boy! A party boy at Mayana's expense.
Sorry.
And I think with that extreme shade,
that was
Bex
so...
now owns the party crowd.
Yeah.
Okay, now that the shade is out,
Okay,
I do think Ibra locks their locker.
Yeah, I'm going to try and all right, I'm going to try and pick the lock.
Okay, go ahead and roll
Sleight
of hand.
I have a decent plus to dex. I have a great plus to dex. Ooh, not with a 2 though. 5.
No.
I'm gonna take what I learned earlier, and I'm gonna take my wrench, and I'm gonna break into this locker.
I fucking knew it. I was gonna
Roll to hit.
I was so hoping
Roll
that
to
would
hit the
happen.
door.
Okay, here we go. That is a 19 plus 3, so 22.
Yeah.
Everything makes so much more sense now.
Oh, I could have just been hitting things.
Dungeons and Dragons. I could have just been hitting things. Anywho, how badly do I beat the shit out of this locker?
Yeah, the locker is fully bent at the clasp, and it swings open.
Sorry. And then I grab the naginata. I'm like, but I think they'll appreciate this. Yes. And then I try and see if I can push back in the dents I made from the inside part of the locker.
Sure, go ahead and roll another attack roll.
Okay, you got it. That is going to be 13. That's so bad
11.
at this. 6 plus 5? 11? Is that 11? Fuck. See? This is my problem. Yes, 11.
So you kind of look at the door and you look at it from the other side and you just try to hit the other side of it really hard, and it just bends it the other way.
I'm just gonna close it. I'm just gonna press it.
And I think that's growth for Fran because she really has learned that not everything is hers to fix.
Exactly.
Yes.
She doesn't
Even
have to
things
fix.
I broke.
Well, they don't need to know about that.
No,
Yeah.
they don't. Yeah, anybody could have done this.
We don't know who this was. We don't see a wrench print.
Who could have done this? Anyone.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take the naginata and I'm gonna go do some little work on it.
Ooh.
As a little surprise. Tee-hee.
But Ibra doesn't know about that because
Nope.
Ibra's left the naginata in the locker and is head home to rest up for another early day of training.
I'm so glad I locked my locker. No one will steal my stuff.
Clank, clank.
Little
Don't
did you
worry
know
about it.
Forget about it.
Forget about
Concrete
it.
jungle.
Wet dream tomato.
So dumb. So you get back to your apartment, Ibra, and the mail slot outside your door is stuffed with a hefty chunk of mail. I think it's a lot more mail, more letters than you're used to getting on a normal day. There's all kinds of stuff. There's a statement from the bursar's office. There's a letter from the food delivery service that delivers all your meal kits. There's a letter from Dr. Abadio's office. There's actually a letter from the gym, the gym where you just were. There's, a couple of junk mails, some restaurant menus, that kind of thing. And then there's a notice from your building super and a letter from your school, the School of Rhetoric.
Ooh. I think Ibra pulls out the two that look semi-important, the one from the School of Rhetoric and the one from the building, as they sort of unlock their door and push it open. They toss the other pieces of mail on the counter haphazardly and sort of regard these last two pieces. And I think Ibra puts the one from the School of Rhetoric in their backpack and keeps the one from the building as they go through the apartment, pull things together that they need for the day, whatever they have to do before the rally, before they go back and do one last round of training, pull out whatever they have left, because they're still cut off from the family funds, so they don't really have...
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh,
For this
interesting.
week.
Shocking. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
For the whole week.
Fun.
So they're like, they're not going to go shopping, they're not going to go do anything that costs money, but they are going to go, they've got some stuff to do today. So they're going to bring that letter from the building with them and sort of open it as they're leaving the apartment.
Sure. This is a letter from your building, which I don't know if Ibra would have ever received before. You tear open the envelope and unfold it. There's like a proper type letterhead. It's unassuming at first, neat and orderly, and it reads, Dear Resident, due to a recent reappointment of the financial account on record, we were unable to process your recent rent payment. To avoid late fees, please make any arrangements to keep your account with us up to date. Thank you in advance for your cooperation.
Oh, okay. What is the rent for this place?
Oh my God, to live such a life. To not know the number, like it's a reflex when you're at the doctor's office.
Yeah, you have like a nice apartment with spare rooms for training and like a fully stocked fridge every time you come back.
And it's cleaned, right? There's like a cleaning service.
Except under the rug. That's where I sweep everything.
So funny.
Right.
You say, don't look under there.
So that rent bill is due 120 gold pieces.
Oh my
Okay.
lord.
For contrast, how much did we get paid at Boggins? Like
At Boggins, you get paid 1 gold a day.
1 gold a day. And so 30 gold by the end of the month if you don't buy food, if you don't
Right.
have
If
a
you do
car.
nothing else.
Yeah, you're screwed.
Yeah, I think Ibra sort of stops in their tracks and goes, okay, that changes my plans for today. I guess I need to go to the bursar's office? Like, where do...
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, God.
Can I have more money than I normally have?
They're like, their brain starts reeling and cataloging how much they've saved up at Boggins over the year before they have this sinking feeling in their gut when they realize all the money they've made at Boggins, they put into the account that the family has control of.
There you go.
They don't have access to any of the money that they've saved over the last however long. They've got whatever is in their apartment, in their backpack, and nothing that's in their bank.
So I gotta ask, as your GM and also as a person concerned for Ibra, what do you do?
Cry. Crying is a free action.
I think Ibra was hoping that they could knock the doctor's office out this morning, but that's not happening. Ibra's like, usually I would go to Boggins and try to like work a day, but I can't do that. And if I go to the bursar's office, I'm afraid of what I'll find. I don't think we'll get paid for the last thing we did, because even though we beat some ghosties, we weren't supposed to be there.
Right.
Oh man, what do we do?
Yeah, that infiltration mission, I realized, was totally our prerogative. Nobody
Yeah.
told us to do
Absolutely.
that. Nobody asked us to do that.
Extracurricular, you might call it.
Extracurricular.
I think Ibra doesn't know where to go, and just their feet start taking them to Paz's.
Yeah?
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, you head to Paz's building in the come up. It's a pretty standard beige gray box among a row of similar beige gray boxes. You step up the ramp and push the intercom button for her apartment. Paz comes out to the front door and greets you with a, Hey, Ibra. Whoa, are you okay?
Hey, no.
Okay. Good start.
I think I'm broke.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. I have to pay rent.
Yeah, well, why don't you come inside and sit down?
Yeah.
You're looking a little... I mean, it's hard to tell with the blue tint, but, like, slightly paler than usual.
Yeah. And he was gonna kind of vacantly walk, following Paz into the house.
Yeah, Paz's apartment is slightly more on the modest side. We love a modest apartment here on the Wandering Path.
apartment.
Truly like a studio, like landlord white walls, a slightly overstuffed kitchen with not quite enough storage. There's a desk with a typewriter off to one side, not like a fancy antique, more like an old workhorse getting the job done day in and day out. She takes good care of it. It's easily the most well-maintained thing in the apartment. It's cozy in here, but not cramped, and Paz has done what she can to make it homey. Lots of small string lights around the whole place to give it a warm glow and avoid the big light, which is, of course, my aesthetic as well. She pulls her desk chair out into the center of the room and sits you down into it as you're sort of staring off into the middle of distance. She disappears into the back for a second and comes back with, like, a really thick blanket. I don't know if this is gonna... I'm just gonna... And she wraps it around you.
Ibra just kind of sinks with the weight of what I assume is a weighted blanket.
It can be.
It is now.
Look, neurospicy best friend, I assumed it was...
Sure, that's fair. In my mind, I was more imagining, like, one of those, like, gray blankets you get in the back of an ambulance. You know, like, for shock victims.
The reflective ones that are, like, insulated when you're too cold
The
from
space
shock.
blankets.
Yeah.
Okay, but a space blanket that's weighted.
Okay.
I think Ibra has to sag a little bit. And
Sure.
then-
No, I'll take it. I'll defer to you.
We've created a reality in which having space blankets is the normal blanket to have grabbable in your house, which I really enjoy.
Yes.
What, you just don't have space blankets right now?
And I don't, but I don't live in New Prosper. All the New
I wonder
Prosper
if it's
people.
cold there.
It must
Maybe
be cold.
It's really chilly.
And it must be a blanket technology that we have yet to discover that has made, metallic, shiny, lightweight blankets the norm.
Yep.
I love that.
They've got their backpack. They've pulled their backpack onto their lap, and they're just sort of holding it. And in one hand is still the letter saying rent is due.
Hearing the phrase just makes me scared.
I know. I'm now immediately being like, I need to pay rent soon.
Yeah.
Ibra sits there for a minute, completely vacant expression before jolting and realizing there's another letter they haven't read.
Oh my! No, don't do it.
Yeah. Paz leans over and is like, hey, it's cool. Let me just hold that for a second, and takes the rent bill. And then I think, like, blankly staring ahead of you, again, like, not really acknowledging Paz very much, just reaching over your shoulder into your bag, pulling out the second letter, and Paz is like, wait, where'd it come from?
Rhetoric. And I slide my fingernail under the lip of the envelope and slice it open. Mm-hmm. Is it very thick? Is it very thin?
Oh no, it's a one-page letter.
Oh no!
Ibra pulls it out, still numb, and unfolds it and looks at what it says.
No.
It says, to Ibra Bracha Shenmar from the School of Rhetoric, due to repeated absences from your assigned classes, we regret to inform you that we have placed you under academic suspension. Please make an appointment with the headmaster's office as soon as possible.
Oh my God. How many classes did you miss? Were you missing class from before, too?
It's only been 6 days.
I haven't been to a single class in the last 6 days.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Even longer. You skipped a bunch of classes even previously.
I was chronically skipping a few classes here and there, but I have been completely absent for 6 days on top of chronically bouncing between going and not going.
I will say, it's like, yeah, when I was in college, I think we got like 2 excused absences per class for the semester.
Yeah.
Or maybe even for the year.
Yeah, in my theater school, every missed class was half a letter grade.
Ibra, at least the training's going well.
Ouch. Ibra goes fully pale. Like, they were pale before. It was hard to tell because of the blue tint. All blue is gone from their face.
No, desaturated.
They're just grayscale.
Completely.
At least... Well, I mean, you didn't... Oh. I'm gonna get you some water.
Damn.
She stands up to go get you a drink.
Paz is a good friend.
Yeah. I think Ibra pulls out their compad and with shaking fingers texts JJ.
They suspended me. Shit. Shit, are you What do you need right now?
I don't even know.
Want us to come over? Or do
We
you
have to
need-
get ready for the rally.
Okay.
Can you give me something to do to get ready for the rally?
Find a place around other people. Watch them. Listen to them. Get in tune with their lives. Their lives are your life too. And we need to remember that for tonight. And for everything else to come. Logistics we can deal with later. But make space for yourself right now, among the company of other people. Love you, bud.
Thank you. And I think Ibra stands up while Paz is still in the kitchen getting water and takes their backpack and walks back to school.
Oh my God.
Are you walking back to school to see if you can get back in?
No.
And Paz turns around and the door is already closing behind you. I think you head back to campus towards the School of Rhetoric to I don't know, maybe like a cafe or like a little sort of bookshop spot where people are sitting around and studying. You find an empty table for yourself, and around you there are other students, studying, reading books, writing papers, conversing with their friends.
Tears start to fall, and Ibra just sits and watches.
Whew.
Fucking yikes, dude.
Ibra has a far way to fall, and it was about time.
I can't imagine the weight of getting expelled from your school and being on campus.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's like, I'm not welcome here anymore. Like all of a sudden, all these places that feel like they're for you are not for you anymore.
Yeah.
Also, got to say, really big, important stuff, which is maybe kind of good because the fact that Ibra's never had to pay rent or worry about any of it, I felt a little bit of resentment bubbling up for Ibra. So, now, and then that was quickly quashed by terrible, terrible personal trauma. So,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I've never found Ibra more relatable than when they couldn't stop staring into the middle distance over a rent bill.
The fact that you're like, I think I'm broke is like to have had that never been
Paz's
a
reaction
reality.
was my favorite.
Oh yeah, damn dude.
It's time for Ibra to be relatable.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or to relate.
Yeah.
Both. Los dos.
that's good.
We'll follow Fran next. I think
Okay.
will you take the Naginata home
yeah.
from
I
training?
take it home from
You
training.
don't know about any of that.
I don't know about any of that. I have no idea. I'm like, hee. They're gonna be so surprised. Do-do-do. What a fun day. Sun is shining. Yeah, the air is sweet.
Yeah,
We're
so
getting out of this tank. Yeah.
So where are you going?
Oh, great. If I've got time, I think, I'll probably go back to my apartment in the Barra district and work on this there, I suppose. I don't really have a workshop. I don't have another place to...
Sure. I mean, you set up in your modest bar apartment.
Modest apartment.
I think probably...
So affordable.
I think probably you have cleared away some of the fashion design documents on your little project desk, and you've cleared space for the pocket loom that you made out of the pasta
pocket
strainer.
loom, out of the pasta cutter.
Yeah, I think that that little object has almost shrine space on your work desk.
And this is where you live now. When you're not traveling with me. I'm talking to the loom.
Sure.
I don't have a lot in my apartment, but I think I have my desk or my workstation in front of my biggest window.
So you're spending the morning and afternoon before this rally trying to come up with a tag to improve this sort of sacred weapon.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to seeing how much Ibra was struggling with what seemed like the weight of it. It's quite heavy. I've never touched one before. So getting a handle on it and feeling man, it's so cumbersome. And Ibra also has a shield.
Right.
And so it would be helpful if we could maybe, I don't know, manage something where Ibra can wield it more easily.
That sounds like a simple task when you say it out loud, but when you think about the process of adding something to an object to make it lighter, that's such a sort of counterintuitive goal.
Yeah, it is. It's metal, right? It's a dense metal, sharp thing. So I think I'm just holding it. I think those little intercuts of it's a stationary shot of the room, but just me in different parts of the room, doing different things with it, of just getting a handle on like how it works, like the momentum of it, like those sorts of things, trying to better understand it. And I think it's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've had downtime that wasn't under duress.
Right.
To think about stuff. Like there's a lot's happened. So I think I'm thinking back to the Weavers and Fuller's workshop and looking at this little loom and being very excited about the prospect of getting to do the work that I saw him and his collective do, but also feeling like I'm not quite as adept and like I'm not trained and like I think this is the first time now that I'm by myself where I'm like, I know I can pull the threads, but can I really do this? Can I really make tags?
I think while you're darting around the room, a flurry of activity, you hear a sharp little tap on your window.
Okay. This has happened before. Sometimes people, they get drunk. You run into somebody on the street. You think there's a connection. There's not. And it's like, in the sobering light of day, you just have to open the window and be like, it's not going to happen. I'm too busy.
You go over to the window and you raise up the windowsill to start yelling at drunk people on the street.
I told you it's not going to happen.
And there's a little bird.
Oh.
Tapping on your window, made of paper.
Whoa.
Oh.
It's like a very round bird. It's like a little plump, little fat little bird.
Like a little sparrow.
Yeah, or like a chickadee. It's like
It's
one of those
so
really super round
cute.
birds, you know?
Yeah.
And it flies through the room and
my
lands right
goodness.
on your desk.
Okay. This
And-
is the most magical thing that's ever happened to me. What do I do? What do I do here?
And it unfolds
Okay.
into paper on your desk.
Oh my God. All right.
And sitting there is the blank piece of unfolded, completely smooth paper. The creases are gone.
Oh, that's fascinating.
And sitting in the center of it is a jeweler's loop. The little, like, one eyepiece that jewelers use to magnify.
Oh, that's called a
cool.
jeweler's loop?
Called a loop.
L-O-U-P-E.
L-O-U-P-E. Loop.
Wow, that's so. Oh my God! I assume it's gorgeous. It's just like pristine glass, like.
It's very clean and fresh and new. It seems pretty ordinary. I don't know.
Gorgeous to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, precious because it came inside of a paper bird.
Magical.
Yeah, so it's like definitely the delivery mechanism of the thing was magical.
And that's why it was so round, because it was carrying this.
Yeah, because
like,
it was carrying it in its little paper belly.
Very cute.
That's adorable. Okay, I immediately pick up the loop.
You take it and you fit it into your eye,
Oh my gosh.
and there's no magnification on this. It's
that's
supposed to magnify, like that's the purpose of the object. And you look around, you're like, is it not working?
Yeah.
You kind of look all around the room, and then you spot on the page, through the loop, illuminated, a secret message.
Oh my God. Wow. What a day. So many treats all at once. Wow. I'm going to get a toothache. So many treats.
Oh my God.
You pick up the paper.
Horrible.
It's a message from Fuller.
Whoa. Okay.
You might call the message illuminated.
Illuminated.
No.
Incredible.
Party point, but I resent it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom, motherfucker.
The message says,
To my driven pupils, news of an invasion of the highest seat of authority within our city worries me greatly. Even those at the height of power are unsafe. Though my work takes me far afield, and I cannot always be with you to pass my techniques along in person, I include within an accelerated vision for the future. It holds a memory of things I have seen. I see danger for our world, and I see greatness in you. With my regards, Fuller Silver.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Wait, so sorry, just one thing. The invasion that they're talking about, was that us?
possibly.
Is this play about us? We're the danger.
Not
No, we're
just
preventing
us.
it. We're like
Hobby was there too.
you're right.
Hobby
There were
was
other
there.
people. There were other people there. Okay. Yes, there were invasions. Okay. Yes. Oh my God. Wow. Pupils.
Yep.
So that's really interesting. I am so fascinated to see who else got letters like this.
Yeah.
So that's going to be something that I'm going to be looking out for.
You all got BCC'd on the same email chain.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly. I'll be like, bird. I'm gonna be like going up to random people and bird. Bird. That's that, and then whoever responds, that's all I.
Hey, I don't know if you know anything about the bird being the word. I don't know.
Oh no!
Have you
That's the one
heard?
for you too.
Have you?
As the loop on your eye reaches the end of the message, the invisible ink starts bleeding down to the bottom of the page, similar to when the ink on the card outside of Fuller's workshop was spreading and moving. This sort of movable magical ink.
Cool.
Sort of like bleeds down to the bottom of the page and onto your fingertips where you were holding it. And starts to spread up your hand. What do you do?
I think I'm gonna like try to like push it back. Like I don't know what's happening. I'm not magical. I'm magical in what I can make, but I'm not. I can't harness magic in that way.
Sure.
So if magic's happening to me,
Yeah.
I don't really have much recourse. I think I am gonna try to like run to the sink in my bathroom and just start like trying to wash it off.
Sure, I think as you wash it off of one hand, like it comes off of one arm, but then you
Comes
pick it up in
together.
your hand. Is
I think for a second I'm just like, well, I do trust Fuller, and this can't be too evil. I'm gonna let it happen.
As you let the ink spread across your hands and across your forearms, it forms into arcane symbols and schematics. You look down and see several designs for certain tags.
Oh, Fuller, you are too good to me. Oh my God.
When he said he included within, he meant it.
Within Fuller, the layers.
Yeah.
I see the vision.
And actually, that one on your elbow.
That's interesting.
That seems kind of useful for the thing you might be working on now.
Counterbalance. Oh, okay. I immediately start writing things down and yeah, so I think I go back over to my desk. I start like jotting down a bunch of notes. And I think it's time now. Like I have the plan in place. I understand intrinsically how the spell would work.
And I think it's a little difficult to try to like copy these notes down because like have you ever tried to hold a jeweler's loop in your eye for like a really extended amount of time?
It probably hurts your face.
Yeah, like and when you take it out, you can't see the writing on your arms anymore.
Yeah. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay. Oh, so anytime I have it, I can see these schematics on my arms. They're there forever.
Yeah, well, they're there for now.
Tattoo. Secret just for me.
Your mom doesn't need to know.
Yeah, nobody needs to know. Tee-hee, it's just for me. Very cool.
And anyone else with a loop.
Okay.
This is how you'll find your loop friends.
I am gonna
do the loop group.
do it. Oh,
No.
I'm gonna do a cursory look out the window with the loop just to see. Just to see
if anybody drunk in the bar also has magical
just
tattoos. Ooh, go ahead and roll investigation for me.
No, not one. No.
Can't use keys, can't use loops.
Yeah.
She's
Out of the
got
loop
big
now.
biceps and not a lot else going on. Well, what? Wait, what were you?
You're out of the loop now.
Okay.
That's a party point, but I resent it. Yeah.
So, suffice it to say, no, I don't think you see anything around.
Well, fuck. All right. Well, good to know. I'm so curious to see how long these last for. I think I'm going to be looping hardcore for the next few days. Regardless, yeah. So the loop is hurting my face. I get as much down jotted as I can, and then I know regardless, before I can continue, I do have to pull a thread.
Yeah, so you've got more advanced tag techniques now, but you still got to make one.
Yep. I think because we're talking about weightlessness and we're talking about like counterbalance, I think I'm going to pull the memory of us gliding down from the constellation down back to our home.
Yeah, the memory of soaring over all of those many dotted, multicolored lights soaring through the air, the dark of the sky against you. You don't notice it quite so much because the sky was dark, but the minute you look down and survey the city below you, as you float over it, all of those different million little lights fade to gray.
I don't like this system.
I love it, but it's so fucked up.
It's a good mechanic, but it
love how
really
much it
bums me
hurts.
out.
It's the sacrifice.
Yeah.
It's the that we take for granted it with magic systems that like magic doesn't take anything from you.
Yeah.
But like
It has to.
it has to. It's magic. Like you can't just have magic for free. That would be crazy. Maybe I'm just a capitalist. Maybe that's my problem.
The thing I wonder is like, what does Fran look like 25 years from now?
Great question, and I've
Fuller.
been thinking about it a lot.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Like, I think that if she continues to do this, there's going to come a point where, like, statistically speaking, she can't experience enough new meaningful experiences and memories to keep up with the demand.
Yeah.
So at some point, she's going to run out.
Yeah.
Also, how much of her personality becomes dull? Like, it's
Well, and you know, remembering back to Fuller speaking so impassionately about like the fate of the world that they have taken on as a personal mission, and their face was flat and blank.
Yep. And I think like there is going to have to be a point where Fran is not as Fran anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's going to be very interesting. And I've thought about it a lot. Yeah, it's going to be kind of scary. But that's what happens.
We do have a ways to go before that happens.
100%. I think like we're still so early days. Yeah. This is her third tag she's ever made.
Right.
Yeah, so I pull that memory, I take the thread, and I start making a tag with my little quite tiny loom.
The montage shifts to the same camera view of your apartment, only no more darting around. You're just at the loom at your desk.
And it's the lights, yeah.
Yeah, and the lights move in the background.
Yeah,
for sure. And yeah, you come out of it with a fresh counterweight tag.
And I give it a little kiss, and then I place it on like the part where I see Ibra hold it, like where the handle would be around.
Yeah,
there.
You wrap it around the handle. And I personally am affected by the idea of like something that was so exclusive to Ibra's family, that was handed down Ibra's line, that like General Shinmar took so much pride in handing to only her progeny, like now irrevocably has a part of you in it. I don't know, that moves me. That moves me towards something.
Love it.
I think the gravity of that, like, Fran is not someone who thinks a lot about tradition or legacy. Like, that's just not something that she was really raised with.
Yeah.
And so the idea of, like, the importance of an object that has been passed down through generations, like, I just can't relate to that at all. But the idea that it's like, this thing is clearly very old and it must be very important, but in the same way that I had to put a tag on Gordon's bag, it's like, we don't really have time to be precious about this kind of stuff.
No, I mean, I agree. But also there's something about giving these pieces of yourselves to your friends. I love the idea that, like, you know, Valdez makes this craftsman thing so that you can enchant your own weapons to make them more powerful. And the first several things you have done is immediately give them to your friends instead.
Of course.
And no matter what else Fran loses, there's something gained there.
Yeah, forever.
For the listeners at home, Misha is tearing up. Just
a little bit. Leave me alone.
I'm getting a little misty over
Misty
here.
Misha.
You're crying. We're crying. Our tear.
Okay, Ian, now it's your turn. What's Gordon up to?
Oh, man, Gordon. Oof. Well, here's the deal. Ibra may have not been going to class.
Yeah.
Gordon has been going to double the class, studying with Cecilia. In addition to like the regular baking stuff, I bet you the regular baking stuff has pulled back a little bit. Like, I bet Cecilia helped me out and is like, we can offload a little bit.
I think from the moment you guys got back from Upper Prosper, that, you know, the conference she was attending is kind of like run its course.
Yeah.
I think she, knowing what you are facing, has sort of doubled down and like taken you on a little bit as like a personal trainee.
Who was the other Bakers Guild student who took her keys from me?
Oh, Chance?
Chance.
Yeah, I wonder if in a fit of light vengeance, I pitched that Chance take all of my work, as well as the route from Cecilia.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, sure.
Because Chance was kind of a dick to me.
Yeah, I think maybe that's part of it one day is like, you know, you come to Chance and you're like, yeah, I'm doing a little bit of extra training. Cecilia has me for private lessons. Would you mind covering my deliveries? And like secretly there's like, yeah, you take all of my deliveries. And Chance is just like, yeah, cool, no problem, man.
No, Chance! Yeah, Chance like swaggers away or just sort of ambles away chilly, and a little bit of steam comes out of my head because I can't get Chance's number. Yeah, so I've been doing classes with Cecilia like all mornings basically, and Cecilia's been teaching me all these different really, you know, like higher level types of baking. We talked about it last episode.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it is like a little bit of a battle baker track here. You know,
Yes.
she's like, listen, like, you know, we have these fine dining techniques and we can do these for the food, but also if you combine the ingredients in these ways and do the magic this way, it does make a pretty potent weapon.
You know what's interesting? I don't want to put the DM on the spot, but it makes me wonder how Cecilia knows all this.
I've been thinking about that for a long time as well. Yeah.
I think
love her.
so. I think
I
what'd
love
you say?
her
What?
too.
I love her.
Yeah,
She's
she's my favorite.
amazing.
She's my favorite NPC in the
She's
game.
afraid all the time.
Right.
Is she a prepper?
I don't know. I don't think she's a prepper, but I think she has a past for sure.
And we also
'Cause
established that she had the dream. We just don't know
She
what she
had
was
the
doing in it.
dream. How old is she again? I'm the one who created this NPC in the world building. In my mind, she's like 29 or 30 years old.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are in your early 20s here, I mean, I imagine that she's like probably at least 30.
Yeah.
So why does she?
But who knows what her family was like? Who knows what they know?
I think I asked her one morning. I think we're in her office and she opens the. I don't think it's a drawer. I think it's like a chest, and she opens the Battle Bakery war chest and is like pulling out some reagents, and the way she pulls out like a really dusty bottle of something that looks super exotic, and she handles it totally without, deference. She handles it with complete control and mastery. And it occurs to me in that moment that I have never looked at her this way. And I ask I'm so like surprised by it that I point blank ask, Cecilia, how do you know any of this?
She, without sort of skipping a beat, she's like pulling out her ingredients and lining them up on the counter as per usual. You know how it is? When you're in a dangerous spot, you use what's available to you. And so I sort of picked up this knowledge. I don't want to say like on the street, but like, yeah, kind of on the street.
Is she being cagey about her dangerous situation at all? Or is she saying it like it's totally normal?
Go ahead and roll insight for me.
I fucking will. That's something. A 16.
She's not being cagey about it. I think she's just being modest. She doesn't want to make a big deal out. She's not refusing to answer, but she doesn't want to make a big deal out of it.
It's not ominous as much as it's like, yeah, I mean, maybe I've been in a couple fights in my life, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do I know where Cecilia grew up?
You can roll history.
I'm gonna roll history. A 13.
I don't think so. I think that maybe her reputation is just that, like, she's super competent. She showed up at the Baker's Guild already, like, so far ahead. Not a prodigy, but, like, really on the fast track to being a sort of minor boss in the Baker's Guild. Like, there was no question that she was going to achieve things the minute she showed up.
Okay. I don't know. I feel not like prying.
Okay.
Let it build.
Yeah, just let it
Let
build.
it rise.
Yeah, I think
Fuck you.
Give me that point.
Damn it.
Give me that point.
I resent giving it. This is the episode of points you resent giving.
yeah. I think she's laying things out, and she goes, I actually started with the dangerous stuff.
Now I have to ask, what? What, like in your basement or?
Yeah, at home. You know how it is. I mean, Gordon, I look at you and when I say I see myself in you, this is the part of myself I see in you, bud. Is that like, you're always throwing together different combinations of stuff and seeing what happens. Mm-hmm. And that's the way you learn the truly new, the truly innovative. But it's also how you put together some really dangerous concoctions, you know what I mean?
Cool, yeah.
And I learned all this, and it really took Ambrose, my mentor, to sort of guide me back towards the culinary.
Wow. Is Ambrose still in the Baker's Guild?
Yeah, man, he's head of the Baker's Guild now.
Oh, Ambrose. I mean, of course. Sorry, I blanked out for a second. I haven't been sleeping very much. That's so
Yeah, are
cool.
you okay?
No. I'm so
Breaking
tired.
bread.
I pick up. I've been holding one of the like little ampules, and like I look down and like my hand is shaking a little bit. And like Gordon basically doesn't grow a beard, but Gordon also hasn't shaved at all. So there's like a tiny little
stubbies.
little
Sure.
stubby
little
soul
pokey
patch,
boys.
and then there's like a bunch of like stray hairs out of his man bun.
Sure.
Oh, no.
I forget you have a man bun.
I do too. That's why I have to bring it back.
Cecilia kind of takes the ampule like slowly from your shaking hand.
Oh yeah, here. Thanks.
And like tosses in a couple of drops to the thing you're making, and the bread dough starts like bubbling unnaturally, like almost like it's boiling. And she's like, "No, that means it's good. It's working."
Oh, good.
Cecilia is the coolest person.
Truly, no contest.
What are we making?
I don't know. What are you making?
A bomb.
Is she helping me perfect my holy bomb? You know, it's the biggest, baddest thing I have.
Yeah, I think she like looks through her like jars and bottles of stuff. She pulls out like a small vial of, it looks like soda water, like clear and bubbly, but it glows within with like a light. I got this from the Light Temple, from my delivery route. They were short one.
Abbot Costello.
Oh, Abbot Costello. Oh, right,
Yes,
right.
she's like, I got this from Abbot Costello, actually. It's sort of like infused with the light from the temple.
Wow.
I think if you've been working on this kind of bomb recipe, I think this will really help.
That's amazing. I take it from her. I uncap it.
Maybe it like vibrates with like a pleasant tone.
Oh, it's nice to hold.
Yeah, it's like yeah.
Fun.
And I take maybe it has a dropper on the inside.
Yeah.
And I put 2 drops in the cast iron.
The bread dough starts glowing.
Ooh, wow. This is really cool.
Yeah.
And I just exhale for a second and like look at the rising bread and finally have a moment to breathe.
I'm ready to teach you everything I know about this kind of stuff. I know you're getting involved with some crazy stuff, and I know that you being prepared in the field to face whatever's coming your way. And she looks around and like back towards the door, and she sees it's open, and she like goes over to close it, and she goes, "You doing your thing might be more important than baking bread."
Whoa.
Cecilia.
I know. I can hardly even believe the words that came out of my mouth. And Ambrose definitely couldn't believe it.
Did you tell Ambrose about everything that's going on?
I had to tell him something.
What did Ambrose say?
Ambrose's entire job is to believe that there's nothing more important than baking the bread. He knows I do my own thing. You know, he's my boss. He tells me what to do, but like he can't really tell me what to do. I mean, have you met me?
Wow, she's so cool.
I love her so much.
But yeah, I told him I was going to start working with you, and I'm here. He says if I'm working with you, then I don't need to be taking on so many other responsibilities around the guild.
Wait a second. You're not stepping down as head of the Bakers Guild.
I mean, no one can take my skills and my connections to my clients away from me. They can take authority, I guess.
What? Cecilia, when did this happen?
After I gave you my pass to go up to the upper city. I had to tell him something.
Oh my gosh, Cecilia. And then after a second, like we were like very still for a moment. And then I just like reach out and I give her like a huge hug.
Yeah, she hugs you back. And as you guys break the embrace, she says, "So you better learn this stuff. And you better not fuck it up."
I roll up my sleeves and set my jaw. I go, "Let's do it." And then the bread in the cast iron, like something goes wrong and it deflates a little bit. No! Oh, come on!
And what's the lesson we take away from a deflated bread bowl?
It needed a little more attention.
Let's get back in there.
Whew.
Hey there, it's Misha. This is the rest stop. Come take a break beside the path with me, just until we catch our breath. First off, as always, we want to give a very big thank you to our patrons at patreon.com/wanderingpathpod. To our newest patrons, Madison M. and Connor, thank you so much, as well as our Voyager level patrons and above who get a shout out in every episode, JWX, Mubarak D, Aubrey L, and Claricite. It is truly down to y'all that we can continue to imagine bigger and cooler things for a little show, even in 2025. Stuff like our very first live show. Yes, it looks like we're going to be live on stage at the end of March. Still locking down the exact details, but if you're in the Southern California area towards the end of March, it would be so cool to get to hang with some of our listeners in real life and put on a show for you. More details on that as they come in, so stay tuned. If you want to help support us doing more live shows in 2025, more entertaining stuff, more silly little mini games where all the characters flirt with each other, yes, if you want to help bring us life, sustain us, and bring us to new seasons, please sign up with us for as much as you are able. One more time, patreon.com/wanderingpathpod. The Wandering Path is sponsored this week by Shaker and Spoon, a subscription cocktail service that helps you learn how to make handcrafted cocktails right at home. Every box comes with enough ingredients to make 3 different cocktail recipes developed by world-class mixologists. All you need to do is buy 1 bottle of that month's spirit, and you have all you need to make 12 drinks at home. At just $40 to $50 per month plus the cost of the bottle, this is a super cost-effective way to enjoy craft cocktails, and you can skip or cancel boxes anytime. Last night, my partner Erin took me out to dinner, and it wasn't really a place known for their cocktails, but they had a couple of new ones on the menu, so they convinced me to try one out. I ordered like a sparkling mango orange lime thing, and it didn't even say what kind of alcohol was in it, and I couldn't really tell just by taste. I think maybe it was white wine or something, and it was fine. But you know me, I was kind of missing a spicy element or something off kilter to fill the whole thing out. And it made me think about how it's really more than just the spirit. It's all of the little grace elements that make a cocktail really shine. And that's exactly what Shaker and Spoon provides. Invite some friends over, class up your nightcaps, or be the best house guests of all time with your Shaker and Spoon box. Get $20 off your first order at shakerandspoon.com/wanderingpath. One more time, shakerandspoon.com/wanderingpath for $20 off your first box. Okay, that's it for now. Let's get back on the path and back to the show. We come back to our final party member, JJ.
I just received a hell of a text.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That I already don't fully know what to do with. And I guess on JJ's list of things to do today before the rally would be talking with Samira, who I think JJ's been avoiding. I think that JJ, over the past few days, kept almost texting her.
Mm-hmm.
We should probably talk. Deletes that. Hey, are you okay? Deletes that. Every day just, doesn't know what to say, but also, is kind of still upset and doesn't want to be the first one to say anything about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think maybe it's just a few hours before the rally.
Mm-hmm.
You get a text from Samira that just says,
Hey. Fine. Hey. So do you want to meet up before the rally, or are we just meeting there?
We can meet up before.
I'll meet you at yours. See you in 10.
You pack up and head out for Samira's place. Tell me about Samira's place, actually.
I think it looks pretty similar to where JJ lives. It's on campus. It's still, independent apartments and stuff on campus. They're not, dorms.
Sure.
But it is, I think, also a studio, especially since she was cut off from her family. It's also quite modest.
Mm-hmm.
I probably talked her out of moving to the arts district at one point, not in the sense of, it was dangerous, but the utilities there are so bad. You don't need to pretend to be a starving artist. You don't have to sacrifice your comfort and also, selfishly, your proximity to me in order to, have a life here. You can live on campus.
Mm-hmm.
It's not groundbreaking to live on campus.
There's probably a brief moment in time where JJ and Samira thought about living together, but JJ was my family wouldn't like that. There's a lot.
Oh my God, they were almost roommates?
They were almost
They
roommates.
were almost roommates. Oh my God, they were almost roommates.
Almost. But yeah, I think Samira is definitely much cooler than JJ. So has a bunch of independent artwork,
Mm-hmm.
sick vinyl collection,
Yeah.
A bunch of framed gig posters of the cool underground band she goes to. She's just a cool person.
Mm-hmm.
And the opposite of JJ, who's places full of instruction manuals.
It's posters of the schedule.
Yeah.
posters of
mine
the
is a
course
huge
schedule.
whiteboard and then technical manuals.
Right.
And
Hot.
And then she found a sick coffee table off the street and then fixed it herself.
Yeah.
Cool.
She is cool.
Yeah, and I think when you get to her apartment, she answers the door a little stiffly and welcomes you in, and laid out on the coffee table is her tea set, which you've seen before. It's sort of mismatched pieces that she's gotten over time from different thrift stores.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, it's somehow it cobbles together and it works.
Exactly.
And she's got it laid out ready for you.
Are you excited for tonight? Nervous?
I'm really nervous. We had a plan, and I think it really took, you talking some sense to me, and also Fran laughing in our face, to realize that plan wasn't really serving everyone.
Yeah.
So we've had to spend the past couple days figuring out what we're gonna do. I don't really know, but I learned one thing. If you don't approve of it, JJ, I don't want to do it.
I'm not your foreman. Like, you don't need my sign-off for things.
Maybe I do. JJ, something's going on. And I don't know what it is, but something's going on in the city. And whatever it is, it's pretty clear that you're at the center of it.
Ugh. Sorry. No, me and Bex had the same exact reaction. It's not like I want to be here. I wish you were at it. The center of all of it.
I also wish I was at the center. I love being at the center. I'm great at being at the center of
you
things.
Are. And then, like, JJ forgets that for a second, like, that they're upset with Samira and was like, yeah, bitch, you're right. Oh, shit, I'm mad. I don't want you to be at the center of this because I don't want you in danger. But it's, I guess, anyone can be in danger, and that's fucked up.
Danger's relative, you know?
Yeah.
Circumstances put people in danger. Just the general way we've built our lives here puts us in danger.
Yeah.
You think people living on the upper city care about whether or not they're putting us in danger down here? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I don't know.
And that's why we gotta do something. And I thought we could build something for just people on the ground. But I don't know, Fran laughing in our face really threw me for a loop.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we do need, I would have signed your petition if you had petitioned. Maybe that's it. I just feel weird that you didn't talk to me about this. I feel weird that there was all this stuff going on, that you were working on something really cool, and you said that you were excited to share it with me, but I don't know, like, when did we stop talking about stuff?
Roll insight for me.
13.
13?
I have a +7 to it, so even when I roll bad, it's fine.
A +7?
Cleric.
Ooh.
The next thing she's about to say makes her feel super guilty for even thinking it, and you can see it on her face before she says it.
You can say it.
The last time I got into some dangerous stuff, and my parents disagreed, and they kind of threw me out. And I know your parents, like, you're super close with them. I didn't want to mess it up. Just for me. Just so I could have my friend with me while I do exciting things. It felt selfish. I don't know.
I understand that. I think I kind of feel the same way right now. I don't want to put you in more danger. And there's stuff that I'm being hypocritical about, because there's stuff I can't talk to you about either.
There is?
The types of danger and stuff in the city. I think you're going to forget this part of this conversation will happen.
She takes you by the shoulders and, like, really looks you dead in the eye and goes, JJ, you have to tell me.
Okay. I tell her everything.
And you explain to her all of the things that have been happening to you in the city. The electric jellies, the governor's office. You tell her the conspiracies. You tell her about Ravona and how she's not telling you everything, and how there's multiple factions of people not telling people things about the dangers in their city. Samira reels from this information. She is thrown. It's so written across her face. And the most heartbreaking part is, it's the exact same look that was written on her face when you described this stuff to her in the safe house in the upper city.
Mm-hmm.
It is the exact same look with the exact same level of shock.
I think JJ in that moment weighs the impact of having to do this to her over and over and over again. And in JJ's mind, I think she feels that unless something happens that warrants another explanation, that this will be the last time that she talks to Samira about this.
Yeah. You think back to holding Javi in that arms locker and him shouting angrily at you, "How many times must I rip my heart open?"
And in this case, the difference for JJ is, how many times do I have to watch your heart break?
Yeah.
That's really love. And Javi sucks.
Javi!
He's like, oh, it hurts me so much. And it's like, I don't want to hurt you.
I'm so
Love.
annoyed to have to talk to you about things that annoy me instead of, oh my God, I'm breaking your
Listen,
heart.
I know we're not all shipping Javi and Samira. I know we're all shipping Samira and JJ.
are.
Let's just move on.
Shay Shay.
Oh,
Gross.
I hate it.
I don't like that one.
Jamira.
There it is. I like
that one.
Jamira a lot, actually.
Jamira.
Where were we? Yeah, and so JJ feels that, like, peace demands sacrifice.
Yeah.
And I can't sacrifice you for this.
Did she say that out loud?
Yeah, I think at the end of this, JJ does say that.
Oh.
Wow.
Because she'll probably forget that part too.
Yeah.
I imagine.
Watch that be the only part she remembers with zero context.
Roll
find
will
out.
say for Samira.
This feels so weird to say in this, like, let's be real, kind of a bummer of a moment. JJ, we gotta roll a flirt roll.
No, this is the perfect time. This is the perfect time for any of that to happen.
What is it? Plus charisma?
Plus or minus charisma.
Plus or minus charisma. Oh, mine is a flat 0, so mine's a 17.
What do we got here?
I got a 12.
Hey, it's not far off, but also this isn't it yet.
There was a chance that it was, but the dice did not tell that story. I think you
Better
guys
story, different story.
you guys lock eyes for a really long time and sit in silence in her apartment.
I think this is one of those moments where we realize that due to whatever circumstances, like, we can't be as close as we used to be.
Yeah.
So tragic.
Gut-wrenching.
I want you to promise me one thing.
Sure.
I won't know what's going on, but you will. When you need me, you gotta put me in, coach.
Okay.
Promise.
I promise.
You call and I'll be there.
I know. Can I actually roll deception on that promise?
Oh no way!
Yeah, do it.
Not willing to sacrifice that love.
No, that was bad. That was only a 4.
Oh, that's even worse.
The dice know what to do.
The dice are doing it.
Yeah, I have nothing in the deception.
I think something in your voice lets it slip that you're just saying this to keep her safe.
Mm-hmm.
And she lets you go. She lets go of your shoulders, and she leans back in her chair, and like the glimmer of light in her eyes sort of fades.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Okay, JJ. You're gonna know what's best, so I trust you.
I don't take that lightly. Shall we head to the rally?
Yep. Yeah, let's do it.
my heart is ripped open. Oh my God, it's hard. It hurts so much.
It hurts so good.
It's so crazy. Fuck.
You finish your tea, you head over to the Arts District, a little offshoot of the Come Up that used to be more part of it and was sort of annexed as its own little section of the city following some uprisings that happened a few years ago.
We just thought it was an installation, but it turned out to be for serious.
Yeah, really what I'm imagining is the autonomous zone that popped up in Seattle in 2020 is that like the people of a section of the city like said like, nope, this is ours now and we're going to reinforce barriers and we're claiming this. And I think that's what like the arts students did, like these sort of radical
the little rebels
youngins.
they are, yeah.
And so I think when you cross over into that zone, maybe there's like a guard house at a checkpoint that like I don't know if they're really stopping people, but they're like writing people's names down in a ledger, maybe.
That feels right.
Yeah, I think the person at the guardhouse sees Samira walk in and just kind of nods. It seems like Samira kind of has the freedom to pass through this barrier.
I know this isn't what you're doing, but I really want it to be like in Dismal Land, where it's like a cardboard security checkpoint. It's like all that was their bit when you come in, is they're all in like, they have like cardboard metal detectors. It's part of it. It's the simulation.
No,
it's
but I do
but
think it's like a little bit of like cobbled together aesthetic.
every ticket has a poem on the back.
The tickets are actually just a zine.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes, it's a zine.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Yeah. You head up to this warehouse. It's like old and hollowed out and covered in graffiti, all different kinds, overlapping, bright, vibrant colors, different tags of, it seems like 100 different people here. There's a bit of a crowd milling around inside. JJ and Samira, you roll up together. She says, okay, I gotta go talk to Javi before we get started. I'll catch you in a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Fran, Ibra, and Gordon, you roll up around a similar time, I think.
Did you go to your locker before you came
Ibra
here?
did go to their locker to change back into their riding leather and pick up Frida, and they took one look at their locker and went, I can't deal with this right now. Grabbed their stuff and left.
Just completely smashed, and you're just like, nah, man, you opened the broken door and pulled your stuff.
I've hit my capacity. Moving on.
They notice that the naginata is missing, and they're like, of fucking course it is. Okay, great. This is the best day ever.
Wow, way to fuck up in a major way, Fran.
No, it'll be great. It'll be great. It'll be fine.
Fuck it up in a major way.
So funny.
Earlier in the day while I was working on the naginata, randomly at different points, I would just think to myself that Samira wanted to build a railway, and I would just go, stupid.
JJ earnestly does believe it's a good idea, just not worth committing that level of crime.
It's a fine idea. The way they were gonna do it, I'm like, that's not possible.
Idiots.
I'm sure it was to me, Fran. I'm like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
See, no, well, like, let's legitimately take a moment for that, because this entire district has sort of been reclaimed by these people.
Right.
And
yeah,
like, it's been autonomous for what, 4 years? I think 4 years ago was the riots that we had said in our world building episodes.
World
so
building.
It's been like a few years of these people running an autonomous zone.
sure.
Looking at these things around you as you enter into the district, does that like change your mind at all about the possibility of this train existing?
What are the how are the buildings? How is the infrastructure? Is it infrastructure that already existed that they have just sort of like put new paint on, or have they built new infrastructure independently with no resources other than what they already have?
I think it's a lot of repurposing for different things. You know, I think there's a lot of buildings that like were a bursar's office or were, you know, sort of built into the structures and systems of New Prosper, that like those buildings have been hollowed out for maybe like a soup kitchen or, you know, like more mutual aid oriented purposes. There's definitely signs of like upkeep and making do with what they have, like hatches on street lamps.
But anything new, anything technologically advanced, anything like that they built from scratch,
like new inventions,
new vehicles, like any sort of engineering at scale.
Not so much.
You see now why I laugh. They want to build a train. They got some magic. I get that. Hey, a little magic go a long way. But if I recall correctly, those gliders, they be falling apart when we got to the ground.
I am trying so hard not to take this personally, because as the person who made these characters, I think you're right. I was trying to make them flawed and have their philosophies be a little bit flawed. But like as the person embodying those characters, this hurts.
I'm so sorry. And as someone who has been hurt by a player who said my plan personally was dumb and bad, I am very sorry. and I will lean off of this bit going forward because you are brilliant, and what
Thanks.
you crafted was brilliant. It's just that
I'm trying to take it as a compliment that I have elicited such a strong reaction
100%.
from you.
Yes.
Oh, well, because the thing to me is, I'm like, these 4 wackadoos cannot build a train. They can't. Like,
They have a good
like
idea.
you
that-
and what army? You and Kevin? Yeah, they're like, we're gonna build it like right now. I'm like, no, you're not. Like, they'll be like, we're gonna make the next Twitch. No, you're not.
You know what?
You're
But
not.
now I'm seeing that it's a lot of personal stuff coming up. Now I'm realizing it's not about Misha at all.
No, this is about me. This is about me. I'm like, you and Tony are really gonna.
Well, it's like one of those things where like, oh yes, these people who are like really into like the academic like philosophy of like changing systems, and it's like you look down on tradespeople. Like,
Yeah. So you're not gonna make a train. You can't. You have 20 people. Again, no tea, no shade to their ambition. They just can't do it. They can't. With what they have, they can't make a train.
No, I agree.
they would need the entire Mechanist Guild.
They would
yeah.
need the entire Mechanist Guild. They can't make a train,
Yeah.
even with magic.
Well, and thank goodness you were there in that place to talk some sense into Javi, because I think hopefully he learned his lesson.
I hope so. I hope his many knife wounds in the legs.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I hope his ego hurts as much as those knife wounds to the legs.
I hope this email finds you before I do.
Okay, you show up to this warehouse in the
Yes.
arts district, waiting in line and like milling around to see if Javi has learned his lesson.
Let's see. As Ibra, you look presumably awful.
Oh, awful, horrible.
Okay.
No
All
good,
right, you
very
haven't told
bad.
anyone else, just JJ.
Just
right?
JJ
Yeah.
and Paz.
Oh, hey, Ibra, I have a confession to make. I broke into your locker this morning. I am so sorry. I was gonna fix it, and then I did not have time because I was working on something else for you. I have a little surprise. Close your eyes. Hold your hands up. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I put the naginata in their hand. I'm like, feels different, right?
I think the grip of the handle is so familiar that it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
I'm
fair.
like, I hold, what? And they open their eyes and they go, what?
Yeah.
How is it?
Yeah. You
And
like
they
it?
hold it up with one hand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Faster, right?
How yeah, did this. First of all, you freaked me out with that stunt.
I'm so
really
sorry.
glad it was you.
It was me. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
I'm kind of proud of you for not fixing it. Actually, we'll get to that later.
Yeah, I was
But
tired. But yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, this is what. Oh, and I take a couple steps back from people and I move it around with one hand.
And now you can do it with the shield too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did this,
Yeah, of course. For you. Surprise.
Fran.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Ibra just
Oh.
bear hugs you.
Oh, okay. It's good. It's not that good, but
This is so good. This is
I think
this is so good.
I think Paz leans over into your ear, Fran, and goes, "It's been a rough day."
oh.
This is so good. This is, oh my God. You could go into business with this sort of thing. You made a 2-hand weapon, a 1-hand weapon.
Yeah.
How did you- Wow.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Oh my
I really
God.
appreciate that.
I could never. I don't have anything to pay you with.
I don't. Why would you pay me? That's dumb.
Because it's your work and it's.
You're my friend.
But you.
You're
did
my
hard work.
friend. I don't want to hear any words. Just keep doing flips. Keep doing little swings with it. It's good, right? It feels right.
Yeah.
Yay, good.
This is amazing.
I'm so glad you like it.
Thank you, Fran.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Ibra,
They're
course.
crying a little bit.
yeah,
Aw.
Ibra, go ahead and roll performance.
What do I add to my performance?
It's a charisma.
15.
Yeah, with a 15, you like regain some energy that like flowed out of you as soon as you saw those letters, and like you maintain fine form. Like the training, the one activity that you've now maintained in the face of everything changing around you, comes back in, and you like do these perfect forms that you know for one-handed weapons, only with your giant naginata.
This is so cool.
I'm so glad you like it.
I think a couple of people come over and are like suitably impressed. And it's like, whoa,
Yeah.
that guy's crazy strong.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I just got this wonderful craftsman human right here can create the most amazing feats with weapons. Like, look at this. This shouldn't be this light. You could feel it. As long as you give it back, you gotta give it back. You can hold it really quickly.
Whoa, this is crazy. Where'd you get this?
I made it lighter.
Do you have like a shop somewhere or?
Yeah. Do I have a shop somewhere? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I do have a shop somewhere. I have a shop somewhere. Yep.
Sig, we'll come by. Yeah, I would love.
Great.
That's
Come
great.
to my shop. I will. It moves. So it'll come to you.
Whoa, a pop-up.
Yeah, pop up.
Wow.
Yes.
So cool, so trendy.
Thank you. I thought so as well.
You have like a QR code.
I will have a QR code soon. I'm waiting for my graphic designer to get back to me, and I flip my hair.
Excellent. You take the naginata back and sit it on your back in its holster. Now feeling lighter than ever before.
Wow.
Almost forgetting all of the weight that's on my shoulders from everything else because there's no weight from my naginata.
I think I whispered back to Paz, I'm like, I have to make a shop.
Rad.
Yeah. It's
Cool.
going to be good. Yeah. Yeah. You want to be my mascot? It'll be like a little drawing of you with like lightning coming out of your hands.
Fran,
Yeah.
are you asking me to be the Boggins this time?
Yes. Yes, I am asking that.
I have never wanted anything more.
Yeah. No wonky eyes.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, you're
Great.
the boss.
Thank you. I'm the boss. Whoa. Wow.
I'm the boss now.
I'm the boss.
And you can be your own boss.
Wow. A girl boss.
And then you can bring other people in and they can be their own boss.
I already put the party points away, so I'm not giving you one, but you deserve one.
Yeah, fair enough, thanks. You guys head into the rally.
yeah.
You guys head into the warehouse. It's the entire Radical Action Collective is.
Rack.
Thank you very much. It's the Rack. Is milling about, sort of like in the pre-show audience kind of vibe.
Oh, this rack is bigger than I thought it would be.
Fuck you guys! Come on! Stop making me take out the party points.
That's what you get for putting the party points away.
Jesus Christ!
Never put the party points away. I'm letting Lynn do all the rack jokes because it
love
feels
it.
right.
Feels really great.
Also, just to be clear, just so we're all clear, Gordon's been with you guys this whole time,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I am buried in my grimoire. Like, my grimoire is literally covering my face. It is 4 inches from my face. I'm reading it.
Oh, I love you in your boy book era.
Boy book era. That's a good episode title.
I'm writing it down.
Boy book era.
Just reading a moldy grimoire, learning about the occult.
Exactly.
Sydney will be like, I'll talk about car stuff, and then she'll tell her, she's like, I don't know, he's just talking about boy car stuff again.
Yeah, you guys head in, and eventually Javi steps up on like a wooden crate to sort of like just get above head level and speak.
Is it a soap crate?
It's in a soapbox.
Is it a
It's a
soapbox?
stupid bit. It's a joke.
Is it a zine crate? A crate full of the zines they made.
I'm sorry, I'll shut up. We need to keep going.
You see some people in the corner of the warehouse like, oh, everybody should read my zine. And the other person's like, oh, I'll do it if you read my zine. And they're like trading
that's so
zines.
cute.
Oh,
Oh, I
trading.
love that.
I do miss zine swaps. They are nice.
Javi steps up on this crate to speak to everyone. This is definitely the first time you guys have seen him since you had him hostage.
He's limping.
He's got bandages on his thighs.
He does walk with a slight limp on one
I
side.
healed him.
He's just dramatic.
Yeah, he's like, oh God, ow.
No, I don't
Oh,
think
the
so. No,
pain.
I think since then he did get healed. He's not trying to play that. So that's another thing. He looks like he's not walking with the swagger that he started your hostage encounter with. Like, if you remember at the beginning of that conversation with him, he was like so sure of himself, so confident. Now he walks in, and you can see from his body language that he has taken some humility.
That's what happens when you get taught
Good.
about trains.
He got railroaded.
Damn it!
There it is.
No!
That was it.
That's the last party point of the day.
You
We're
keep saying
closing
that.
shop. We're closing shop.
Yeah, he steps up onto the crate and sort of he doesn't call attention. He doesn't try to shout people down. He just sort of waits for the din to quiet down until people are paying attention to him. My friends, thank you for gathering today. So nice to have you all back with us. I know we had big plans for today. Today was supposed to be train day. And the rest of the people kind of give like a little bit of a cheer, and Fran absolutely snorts and breaks out into laughter.
Should I roll performance to see if I can prevent myself from laughing?
No, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it happens.
Oh my god.
I think you get a couple stares from people standing near you and like a little bit of a sneer. And Javi goes, No, she's right. Everybody welcome Fran Weaver to the crowd. She and her friends have opened my eyes.
I immediately, the hair stands up on the back of my neck, and I put my book down, and I start looking at Javi and watching around. Sorry.
Ooh.
Okay. I was on a mission to improve the world for you, my friends, and for those who have been downtrodden. And it was hard. I had to do much of this work alone because, my friends, there are things at play in this city. Dangerous things you cannot remember. It breaks my heart to tell you, I have told you this time and time again. The nature of these things keep you from remembering. A murmur spreads throughout the warehouse. You can see, I think, on everyone's faces in the Radical Action Collective, I think everyone is surprised, leading you to believe that Javi might be the only person within this group who does remember the ghost who did have the dream.
Can
That
I
gives
also,
him power.
in this crowd, can I use my loop?
Ooh, go ahead and roll investigation.
You got it. Damn it, another nat 1.
Nah.
I doubt Misha planted anybody
I just feel
here.
bad.
No,
I'm
it's fine.
feeling really
I'm
bad now.
I'm starting it now.
Yeah.
I'm just I'm
for sure.
I'm on the hunt.
Yeah, for sure. Javi continues. I foolishly assumed I could lead us from the shadows to a brighter future. And I was wrong. These people, these friends that I have invited to join us this evening, they have shown me the way. They have shown me the error of my ways. I thought the element of putting people in danger would help our cause. I have been shown that this is never the way. And he rubs his thigh a little bit.
Interesting.
Yikes.
But the fact remains, and we all know this, the foundations of our city are rotten. And friends, I don't know what to do. Yes, it needs to be torn down. Yes, it needs to be rebuilt. But if we are the ones to tear it all down, the vulnerable will be buried. And that is not what we want. Is that not what we want, my friends? And a murmur of agreement. Yeah.
No way.
I love a calm response.
Same.
It is up to those who show up to find a better way. We cannot simply tear everything down. Those in the city, we have asked ourselves, how long till it all comes down? And now I know the answer must be, as long as we can make it last. But that doesn't mean we can't plan for the rebuild now. These two things are different and separate, and we can leave the bad and we can take the good. We can build the future. Here, together, us in this room, we will build it. And everyone cheers. And from the back of the warehouse, a door bursts open.
Oh no.
And you turn around to see Inspector Ravona
Yeah.
Okay.
striding into the warehouse. Just those in this room? Who put you in charge? Did you ask anyone apart from the handful of you? And she scans around the room for faces.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Not dice.
Pulling out dice.
Not dice.
And she looks around at the different members of the collective, and then she spots Gordon in the crowd. And from Gordon to Fran, and from Fran to Ibra, and Ibra to JJ, you can see her chuckle quietly to herself. She is not surprised to see you here.
I think I'm gonna come to the end of the crowd where, like, as close to where she would be. I'm gonna like come forward essentially to where she is.
Yeah.
I follow Fran, stepping right behind.
Allow me to answer for you, my friends. No one put you in charge. No one gave you the authority. You asked no one, and you took matters into your own hands. And now, you will suffer the consequences. And a cascade of booted feet come through the door behind her. You see her strike team form up behind her. You see Brahma take position at her right hand.
I look Brahma right in the eye, and I cast Whispering Wind.
What's that?
That's a Valda
You
spell.
point your finger in the direction and whisper a message of 25 words or less while specifying up to 6 creatures to be the targets. If a target is in range and the approximate direction indicated, they and only they hear the message carried on the wind. They can reply in a whisper that only you can hear.
Cool.
I say, if you did this, all debts are void.
It doesn't matter what I do right now. This is a different game we're playing.
Ravona points a finger directly at Javi on top of the crate and says, "Arrest him, and anyone who calls him an ally." The troops behind her surge forward. Let's roll for initiative.
Yeah, motherfucker.
The Wandering Path was created by me, Misha Stanton, and produced by Bex Taylor-Klaus, Lynn Raffil, and me. This story was game mastered and sound designed by me, Misha Stanton, and was played and performed by Bex Taylor-Klaus, Lynn Raffil, Ian McEwen, and Mayana Barron. Cover art by Lynn Raffil, transcript assistance by Darby Summers, and music courtesy of the Independent Music Licensing Collective. Our production and house manager is Erin Bark. If you like what you're listening to, please tell your friends and let them know where to find us. Our website is wanderingpathpod.com, where you'll find links to subscribe and follow us wherever the path leads. We're also on Patreon, patreon.com/wanderingpathpod. We're so grateful for anything you can do to help us keep making this show. Thanks for wandering with us. Till next time.